Hi, I'm Normandy Lusher. I am the person behind the Body Anthology, well, one of the many people. This project is a comic anthology, which means it's a collection of several individual short stories told through comics. And in this project, we have 31 different people who are really all truly amazing. Some of them are professional artists. Some of them don't fully identify as artists, but they totally are. So we have this really wonderful wide range of contributors. So without further ado, I really want to turn the time over to them.
Hello, my name's Clarissa Martinez. I'm a freelance illustrator. I'm also a multidisciplinary artist who likes to work in oils, watercolors, and book arts. My story is called The Bloody Battle, which is about my own journey in getting a hysterectomy due to my past experiences growing up with a uterus. What I'm excited about in my story is that the dialogue is my own personal dialogue set, in modern day. But the visuals and the illustrations follow a lady knight in a medieval world on her own quest to defeat a monster.
Hi, my name is Keith Wilson. My project, I should have thought of a title. I think the working title was Shoulders. And it came to my mind with the thought of bodies. It was, to my most recent memory, the last time I kind of had a conversation with myself about how I felt about my body. I was becoming a father and realized that there was some things that felt out of whack with what I really imagined life being as a new dad. And so this comic was something to put that dialogue into writing and into comic form. I had a mental image that was based off of not just the reality of my own dad, but the idea of my own dad. And I was imposing those things upon myself. I had to realize that it didn't really matter to my son the way that I was afraid it would, that I told myself I was afraid it would, and which really undermined the argument I had against myself for being inadequate on more than one front, not just physically, but being a dad is being lots of things all at once. And so it gave me a little bit better ammunition to disarm some self-criticism and some self-disappointment, while being a bit better in touch with reality. And without those roadblocks in the way, I was better able to connect with my new son, better able to connect with my partner, my wife, and be a happier dad.
So when the opportunity came to pitch for the Body Anthology, I knew I wanted to dig into the idea of the fat ancestor. I'd always wished growing up that I'd have the opportunity to connect with the person whose body was the template for my own, my paternal grandmother, who wasn't in my life, who had died before I was born. But I always wondered, what would have been the impact of having the person whose body contextualize my own presence in my life? Would it have made me feel more part of something or less to blame for how I didn't measure up to expectations living in a larger body? Now, as the mother of two daughters, I think often about how my body, if approached in the right way with them, can be a tool to create this familial legacy of care, nourishment, acceptance, rather than discomfort, alienation, striving for something different or better. I'm really thrilled to have the opportunity to explore these ideas through this piece for this anthology, and especially excited to have it in context with so many other diverse perspectives on the body from other talented artists.
My name is D'Angelo Sims, and I'm one of the artists for the Body Anthology. My story is a little short comic about my experiences on gay dating apps as a Black gay man. It's a bit interesting. I had a lot of experiences of having my body fetishized in different ways that I wasn't used to, some that I knew about but hadn't experienced firsthand. It's something that a lot of gay Black men, especially many of my friends, have all experienced. So it was fun to make a little somewhat lighthearted story poking fun at it, and my experiences being on the apps overall. Having that experience did kind of make me appreciate my body a little bit more and set better boundaries for what I accept, and no longer accepting being fetishized just for basic interactions.
Hi, I'm Dana Cox, and I have a comic in the Body Anthology. My comic is called Meat Body versus Ghost versus Skeleton. And the story was inspired by a dream I had a couple weeks ago where in my dream I was looking into a mirror and my eye was getting bigger and bigger. It was like a balloon that was going to burst, which is very gross. But I woke up just before it was about to explode and my eye still hurt. And I realized that in real life I was punching myself in the eye, which is so weird. Why would someone do that? What part of your body or your mind or your spirit would do that? So that's the inspiration for the comic.
I am Ella Larson, she, her. I don't know if we have to do pronouns, but she, her. So I wanted to do a project that was a little bit more scientific in its approach toward sex and gender in the animal kingdom. So I did a few different categories of expression that aren't quite usually what we think about sexually reproducing animals. It's really an honor to be included with all these wonderful artists. People's pieces are amazing and I'm so excited to read them because there's such a range of voices and approaches to this project. So excited to see how it turns out in the end.
I think this project is really cool and really important because so many artists are telling their own stories, whether it's something positive about their bodies, perhaps sharing insecurities. And I think anyone can find any one of these comics relatable. And I think it's important to share these with the world and why it's important to support this campaign. We all put our heart and souls into these stories. And I think if you want to support artists, you love indie comics and cartoons, and you want to see your fellow artists succeed, I think it's important to either share the campaign, support the campaign in any way that anyone can. And I'm really excited to see everything come into fruition.
The Body Anthology is a cool project because it brings together all types of different artists from different backgrounds and allows us to connect under one theme, the body, which is universal. We all have them, and it's fun to talk about it. Thank you so much for supporting our Kickstarter. We're really excited to share our work with you and deliver this anthology.
So one of the things I do want to talk about is part of why we decided to do a Kickstarter was because we wanted to share this story with as many people as we can. And so through Kickstarter, we'll hopefully be able to raise money to print as many copies as everyone requests. Now is the time. Now's the time to get on the bandwagon. Like if you're interested, think you want a copy, we're really only planning on doing one run of this print, at least for now. So if you want a copy, the best way to secure getting one is by supporting this Kickstarter and making sure that you choose the comic as one of the reward tiers. There's some with it, some without it, but it's definitely one of the main features is getting a printed copy of the full story. The other main reason that we wanted to do a Kickstarter was because we really want to support the artists themselves, right? So to put together a project like this, all these wonderful people really just volunteered. They made these stories because they're passionate about them, which is beautiful, but artists deserve to make money for their work. So that will be another really important part of this is ensuring that artists receive at least some compensation for their time and energy that they put into this. So please donate as generously as you can because it really will go towards specifically making copies of all the copies that are requested and then going directly to the artist. So that's really exciting. In the reward tiers, we have several different options. I really tried to keep the focus on the comic itself. So if you want 1 or 3 copies or 5 copies, those are all different options. And then we do have a really cool reward that is artist-made stickers and prints and things like that. So that's another one that I would definitely direct you to, because that one will be really fun. Each of the stories is really powerful and meaningful. Each of the stories dives into, a certain perspective. And I just think it's really exciting to hear from all different kinds of people, to get their slice of life story, and to realize that, while we may feel like our world is the whole world, it is not, right? Like, we all have commonalities. We all share this experience of having a body, but at the same time, those experiences are vastly different. And I think it's really important to hear from each other's perspectives, to really hear other people out. It's just so, so important. So I'm really excited, because these stories really are like a deep dive, a pulling back of the curtain. They're vulnerable, but they're also really funny and joyful in a lot of ways. This is a great book. This is going to be really incredible. All of the art is made, so that's, rest assured, the artwork is ready. So I will just be formatting it over this next month while the Kickstarter is running. The sooner that you can support, just the more it helps to move the project forward. So please consider that as you're making your decisions. But the Kickstarter will run April 4th through May 2nd. So please take advantage of that time. Thank you so much for supporting the project. Thank you for your interest and your support, not just for me, but for all of the artists. I think you're really going to like it.